team? Hope we're good. So it's been a raw and rugged morning in Bali here. We set off this morning, 6 a.m. We got a little high frequency running, nothing crazy, about 3 kilometers. Just get moving and grooving, get sweating, get the head right, listen to some music. And we arrived at the gym, threw down a pretty savage push session to say the least, and now we're about to dine in for breakfast. So pretty much 9 out of 10 times I will always fast in the morning, not for any fat loss benefits or reasons, but more for the cognitive edge that it brings you. And then the way I like to eat during the day is like just 2 big meals, 1 small snack. So we're about to chow down with a massive post-workout meal, and we're going to show you that in a little second. I've got good energy today. I actually leave Bali in 4 days. I go back to Dubai and then Saudi Arabia, then back to the UK. So it's a weird feeling, because me and the man behind the camera, way back when I first got to Bali, we're shooting, and it feels like a very full circle moment. A lot's changed. We've been through a lot of growth, a lot of setbacks, a lot of lessons learned, and I might share some of that later on in the video when we get back to the house. So yeah, enjoy the video, check the workout, check the running video, and I'll see you back at the house. Let's get it. Right, boys, hope we're good. So, like I was saying, back in Open House, the restaurant we were in this morning in Bali, it's been a hard year. It's been an interesting year. It's been one of those years that has challenged me, tested me, grown me a hell of a lot though, right? And I've been saying this to a lot of my clients recently, but Neville Goddard says it's the best, right? Feel the weight of your goals on your back and carry them, right? I don't think a lot of people deep this as much as I've deeped it, right? But when you are trying to pursue something great in life, when you're trying to win, trying to develop your body, your business, get better in your relationship, improve your social network, get around the right people, there's going to be a lot of friction, right? There's going to be a lot of challenge, there's going to be a lot of pressure that comes with that. There's going to be a certain weight that you have to carry, and that weight can sometimes destroy me. That weight, that pressure, that stress is quite frankly where you're going to grow the most, but quite frankly where most people tap out. And this year's been one of those years where there's been moments I've had those thoughts like, do I give up? Do I stop pursuing this mission? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I go all in this? And it feels weird to say this, because since I was about, 18 years old, I've known exactly what I want. I'm 28 now. My birthday was a couple of days ago. In hindsight, right, which is one of the most beautiful things in the world, you got to stay true to yourself. You got to stay authentic, and authenticity is probably one of the things I'll speak about here more than anything else, because as I say, you're growing, you're developing, you're putting pressure on yourself, you're being around the right guys, you're getting held to a new standard, but you got to stay authentic to you. And there was things that I've done over this year that have made me take the mask off more and more and more, and just be truer to myself, be more authentic to myself, literally take it all the way down to the raw, honest root core of who I really am. And like one of the things I was doing was, sacrificing my health for growth in business, sacrificing what I truly felt was the right path to go, just to be safe. I think in life there's a fear of failure. You're scared to let go of what you've already built because you're not sure what's on the other side, and that's like also the contrast, which is the fear of success. Like, what if I do go all in on this one thing and I give it absolutely everything? Am I actually going to be the man that's capable to bear the load of that new pressure, that new stress. And the fear of failure, the fear of success is where a lot of guys kind of navigate between. Fear of failure is very easy to describe. It's like, you're scared to take the risk, scared to take the action, scared to really go for it, because see, if you fail, then what are people going to think? What are people going to say? What's your mum going to say? What's your brother going to say? What's your friends going to say? It's like, I knew you'd give up, you never stuck to this before, da 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 da. And the way it happens in life is like your subconscious mind, imagine like an iceberg in the water. Your subconscious mind is this big, deep, under the water, under the surface pit of different thoughts and beliefs and behaviours and actions and things you've been predisposed to all your life. And it's always, at any turn, especially when you're unsure, is going to feed your conscious mind limiting beliefs from the past. And this year for me is like been facing my limitations head on with as much focus as possible. And I think there's a good analogy for this, but when a storm's coming, right, the cows will run away from the storm to stop themselves getting, wet or caught in the storm for an extra 5 minutes. But the bulls or the bison, they'll run into the storm and face it head on, because they're going to come out the back end of it. And this year for me has been like, there's been shit going on back home with, family. Me and Amy decided to get married. There's been times where I've made massive investments and they've just not paid off. I've emptied myself, I've zeroed myself again, and it's not paid off. There's been times where we've missed legalities over in Dubai and it's not worked out. We've lost thousands of pounds. I've had to really audit my circle. I've had to remove people from the business. I've had to cut staff. I've had to do certain things to really go all in what I believe to be true. And it's very, very scary when you do a lot of stuff like this, because you have to face what's been on your conscious mind for so long and not let your subconscious tell you otherwise. And that's when you really start to level up. And it's only been this, probably the last year, I've managed to hold one thing true, which has allowed me to build the confidence, capacity, and carve the direction and where I want to go, which has been my daily habits and standards, my non-negotiables. I've been lean, strong, in shape this whole year without dropping the ball once. I've really struggled with that in the past. It's always been in and out, cut and bulk, lose this, gain that. I've held completely steady, and I would say now, off the back of all the trials and tribulations going up and down, left and right, like, fitness isn't a goal, fitness is a standard, fitness is your baseline, it's your operating system as a business owner, as a high performer, to hold your emotional regulation and state, to be in that frequency, to be in the right headspace, what you want to achieve in life. And we all know that quiet agitation as a ambitious person that we feel every night when we put our head in the pillow and we know we could be so much more, we could do so much more, we could live so much better, we could look so much better, we could grow so much faster. But then why is it we always resort back to doing what feels safe, what feels comfortable? And it's like, one of my taglines that I've developed this year is destroy average and become undeniable. You need to be the guy in your life that the younger you would be proud of. You need to be your own superhero. You need to be someone that always goes all in on fucking everything. Because only then, once you've tipped the seesaw and got to the other side and you've seen what's on the other side of that sacrifice, that success, that growth, that progress, that's when you can decide, It's all those other weak guys out there that justify all the 101 different reasons as to why they're not successful yet, and it's because they've not actually put themselves in a position to push themselves out their comfort zone. And that's when you're going to see the biggest amount of growth, when you decide to step out of the circle that everyone else is playing in, where it's scary, where it's dark, where it's uncertain. That's where the most amount of growth is always going to be. And I think this year for me, I've stepped out of that circle completely, and I can see life through a completely different paradigm, completely different lens. Like the amount of education, the amount of investment, the amount of reading, the amount of self-development I've done just in this last 12 months it's probably been like 10 years worth of growth in 12 months. It's the most confident I've ever felt now. It's the most dialed in with business I've ever been now. It's the most dialed in with body and health and relationships and social life I've ever been. And I owe that all down to just taking the path that's least walked, you know, not staying stuck in my own head and thinking I won't be able to do that and comparing myself to other guys, or, you know, whatever it could be. The list goes on and on and on. You know it yourself, I know it myself. But there comes a time, and this year was that time for me where I just decided to cut the weight, finally take the weight off my shoulders, in a sense of anything that was holding me back, limiting beliefs and whatnot, and then replace it with the weight of my new goals. And that has stretched me further than I ever thought possible. That has moved me further than I ever thought possible. And right now, going into 2026, we're in November right now, I'll be going back to Dubai, then Saudi Arabia, then I'll be going to visit my family back in Scotland for a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a end of year reset. But we're coming into the end of the year extremely strong, stronger than I ever thought possible, in every single aspect, high performance across the board, body, business, relationships, life, social network, brotherhood. And I just can't wait to reflect on it all, and then come into 2026 for the most biblical lockdown, lock-in that we've ever fucking seen. And one of the biggest shifts I can maybe add here is finding faith. You know, a year ago I was in Dubai and I was woken up at, I think it was 2:45 in the morning, which when you look that up, let's say it's online or something, 2:45 is where you're most spiritually aligned with the higher frequency, aka God, faith, whatever you want to call it. And I was woken up. I didn't just wake up, I was woken up, and I heard the statement in my head, driven by faith, God's hand is on your back, right? And that morning I just woke up, had a drink of water, and I went and ran a half marathon, right? Just out the blue. And it was only a couple of months before that I was told I needed knee surgery because I wouldn't be able to run again, because I had these issues and all sorts. And since then, no knee issues anymore. You know, since then I can run comfortably now. Since then I can squat 180, 190 again. It's like, I think everything is just in our heads, guys. You know, and like if we choose to believe whether it's true or false, then that's on you. And no one's actually ever told you you can't do what you need to do. And the biggest thing that you need to back yourself with is a delusional sense of faith and belief that you can pull off anything that you want to pull off in this life, because no one's ever told you otherwise. It's only been yourself. So if I can give you some final words of advice, is set a fucking goal, set it so fucking big, have a delusional sense of confidence to back yourself through the uncertainty and every little speed bump, every challenge that comes with that, and go all fucking in. Be the most authentic version of yourself. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, and just go for it, man. Just fucking go for it. One more time. Mr. Lewis Ritchie. How are we? So guys, this is one of our awesome clients, Lewis. I'm Lewis as well, obviously. No, I don't know what the word would be. But anyway, Lewis has been working with us for, I don't even know how long now, like 8 months, 7 months?
7, 8 months.
Yeah, when Lewis came on board, we were just chatting back and forth a little bit on social media and stuff, and he was working over in the mines in Australia. Is it FIFO or FIFO? FIFO farm. And yeah, it was maybe not in the best spot lifestyle wise, you know, chasing cash, drinking the beers,
always
living the crazy lifestyle. And since then we built a amazing connection, got some seriously cool results, and now you're kind of living the freedom lifestyle out here in Bali, which is epic. I just want to kind of ask first and foremost, like, if you could rewind back to where you were before coming on board, describe that a wee bit.
In terms of where I was when you first messaged me?
Yeah, like physically, mentally, energy wise.
Yeah, due to the type of work that I was doing, it was just very physically, mentally draining. It was 184 hours in a fortnight, working up in 45-degree heat. And then you've got nothing else really to do there besides drink and sleep. So it was just a bit like, the money was really good, but the lifestyle itself was quite unhealthy. So
yeah.
Golden handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs, okay. And like, talk to me about like physique, body image. Was it something you were like aware of, where you're like, I'm actually not too bad, I'm fine, I need to bulk up anyway, I need to do this? What was like the beliefs you had installed?
It was kind of just like denial,
Oh yeah?
because when I was like obviously growing up and stuff, I always struggled to put on weight. So then when I started to put on a little bit of weight, I was like thinking that it was healthy, but it wasn't, due to the fact like I just put on a bit of pudge, a bit of puppy fat, thinking that I was like, oh, like I'm putting weight on, but the eating wasn't healthy, the drinking wasn't healthy, lifestyle wasn't healthy at all. So it was just complete denial, really.
No, sweet, and you know, 20 plus pounds later, it's like maybe having a coach could be a good decision.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that. So since being on board so far, what do you feel like has been the most uncommon win you've had? Not like, oh, I'm in much better shape, I've lost 10 kilos of body fat or whatever, but like,
I think self-belief.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you've done really well in terms of being like the driving force behind the mentality aspect of it, because at the end of the day you can't drive me to the gym.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's always been the little seeds that get planted in my head every day, the talks, the phone calls, the Zoom calls, everything. It's just, everything just helps build up.
I love that, man. I appreciate you saying. And then from the physical component as well, how do you feel in your body image now compared to where you were?
Confident, happy, excited for future growth. Just looking forward to it, really.
Fuck with that. And let's say you're speaking to either a version or a guy that's kind of like you know, caught up in the golden handcuffs, chasing the money, but the lifestyle is not what it wants to be, and he's like in that proverbial cycle. What's maybe one thing you would say to a guy like him?
You just need to take action.
Yeah.
There's like, yesterday was the best day to do it, so why not do it now?
Yeah, like that, like plant the tree 30 years ago, best next time's now kind of thing.
100%.
Nice. And with that as well, what would you think, like, if you could maybe give yourself a previous bit of advice, what would that now look like?
In terms of fitness?
It's more life, like, because you're operating pretty high performance at the moment. You've got the training business, you're training every day, you're living out here in Bali and stuff. Like, was that always on the plan?
I think it was always on the plan, but because I got sucked into the mines and the lifestyle so quickly, and time develops on so fast, you kind of forget what your goals are, because you've got such the consumption of money coming in, and everything's sweet to a sense that you just get detached from your goals and what the end goal is. Whereas when you got in touch with yourself, it's just been a complete 180 in terms of like life goals, aspirations, and general.
I love that, man. I love that. And do you think even like it was like comfortably uncomfortable back when you were in the mines, back when you were doing all that?
Yeah, it was a lot of being naive in terms of telling myself that everything's okay when realistically it's not, because you're just going to detach from everything that you truly do want.
Yeah.
And then taking action is the most important thing you can do.
Fuck with that. If you could say a couple of nice things about the programme, what comes to your mind just about being inside, having the proximity, working with me, all that kind of stuff?
First and foremost, the relationship we've built in such a short period of time. You're not just a fitness coach, you're a friend, you're a mentor, you're a mindset coach, everything that comes under the one umbrella, which is why the programme is so beneficial for anyone which is debating coming on board. In terms of what you provide is beyond beneficial to someone who's successful, someone who's not successful, someone who's not in shape, someone who is in shape. It's the mindset behind everything which is going to be the driving force.
Yeah, a lot of people always think I just need training plan, nutrition, need some habits, but it's never like an information thing, it's always an implementation.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the only way to change someone's behaviour with implementation is to change the belief, you know. So it's like, if you doubt you're going to be able to pull something off, like if I said to you, like I tell you right now, in like the next 3 months you're going to be even further on your journey going to look unrecognisable because you've now chopped the fat. And it's like, when you're at the start of the hill and you're looking at the top, it's like, fuck, can I even take that first step? To have fear that, well, if I put energy into this or invest in myself and I fail anyway, you know, so you got to change that belief so you back yourself relentlessly with everything you do, and almost have that kind of like unfuckwithable mindset, like bulletproof mindset, to be like, anything I put my mind to, I can conquer, I can achieve, I can do, I can fucking take this to the top, non-negotiable. And that will start bleeding into like every other aspect of your life, because I think fitness, getting in shape and stuff, it's not an end goal, it's just a standard you have for yourself. And once you've kind of cracked the nut with it and you're in that flow, then there's no reason as to why you can't transfer those skills, that mindset into everything. You know, business, relationships, life, social network, whatever it might be. With that for you, like what's next for Lewis?
What's next is 5-figure months. Really, really good shape in terms of physically. Mindset being as clear as can be, pretty much. General happiness, content with myself. Looking in the mirror, being proud. Looking back on who I was 12 months ago, just making baby steps.
Nice.
6 months ago, different person.
Fuck yeah. I love that, man. And is there anything you want to just say finally to wind this down? Because what you've said so far has been absolutely savage.
Just like a quick note to anyone who's really sitting on the fence about coming on board. It's a decision that's pretty much vital in terms of your future success and beneficiaries. It's a non-negotiable, pretty much.
Fuck yeah, non-negotiable, bro. My fucking man. My fucking man. Good stuff. Nice one, bro. Appreciate that.